The time has come to talk about the Polaroid Now Plus yet again. However, not this one. This is what's now called Gen 1. Let's talk about Gen 2, and let's just get into it.
You know the type of guy that was a jock in high school but ended up becoming a huge nerd? You know, someone that's not afraid to make a fool of themselves on the internet. And someone that likes to shoot Polaroid a little too much. Did I say huge nerd? You know, just an ordinary, everyday guy. Well, that's me. I'm just another Chris.
Any longtime viewer of the channel will know that I have thoroughly tested the Polaroid Now Plus. This is actually my third version that I've tested of the original Gen 1. I couldn't get a really good photo out of this thing. Everything was way overexposed. And not to toot my own horn, but I kind of know what I'm doing when I'm taking pictures with instant photography, especially Polaroid. I mean, I have a basically dedicated YouTube channel to it. And this is the only camera I have and own that just doesn't take good pictures. I'll leave links to all those videos and tests I've done on this camera already in the description below. So without further ado, let's talk about the Gen 2 that was just released about a couple months ago-ish, somewhere around there. I'm not sponsored by Polaroid. I have to purchase these things for myself, but luckily I didn't have to actually purchase this one. A lovely member in the Spitfire Club, that's our membership area by the way, was gracious enough to loan me their Gen 2 for this video. Shout out to you, John. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. So the Gen 2, other than its color and appearance, what else does it have over the Now Plus Gen 1? Well, it has a USB-C port. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's all. Maybe they fixed the internals. Let's go find out. Let's go shoot some photos and see if there's any difference. But I've been walking around with the Gen 2, taking a couple of photos. I think there's like 3 left. Oh, I have 2 left in the pack, and let's take a look at what we got so far. Now, I did fire all of these -1 on the exposure compensation. This was coming out pretty good. I just shot this a couple minutes ago. It's still not quite developed all the way, but that one's promising. This one of the Seagull actually came out pretty good. Probably the best one yet. And the first shot I took was of the Space Needle. Not great, but not horrible, but it also was pretty overcast at the time, so I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt on this one. I am noticing the black bar, the little black bar at the bottom of the photos. That was happening a lot on the Gen 1. I haven't seen that on any cameras I've shot with since. What is going on with that? I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that with the rest of the shots. But I got a couple more. Let's continue on. There it is. I was wondering where I put this. I thought I left something behind. So back out here shooting with the Polaroid Now Plus. I was in Seattle shooting with it, and I gotta say, it just wasn't the greatest. I'm not noticing much difference, honestly, unfortunately, from the previous Gen 1. So instead of just wrapping it there, I am going to continue to shoot with it in different lighting conditions. In Seattle, there was some overcast, but today is like really nice out. Let's get to it. It's kind of warm out today, so I brought the old cooler. If you guys want to see how this worked in action, there'll be a link in the description below. And I'm going to put the photos that I take in there too, just because I don't want anything altering this test with this camera. That's weird. It's blank, no printing on here. I don't know if I've shown this on camera before, but I bought these little pouches, which was honestly really difficult to even track down something like this. So they're not much for looks. I put my photos in here after I take them and then clip this to like a bag. And that way on a hot day, it's not gonna be up against my warm body and cause photo to potentially turn magenta, or at least aid in that from happening, because it's still warm out and it's gonna happen. But what I'm gonna do today is put the photos in here and then throw it in the cooler, because I have one. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's really hard to film yourself. There's a car coming, and I don't know if they're going through this gate. Shoot. Might be too far away. But we're gonna find out now, aren't we? Yeah, still trash. Still nothing great. Nothing spectacular. There's one and a half photos that actually have any sort of color in them. And even then, it wasn't metering right. This is probably the best one I've gotten. Technically, it's of the Seagull. But again, look at the highlights. They're really, really blown out. Why is that? No other Polaroid camera does that, except for this thing. And there was a video where I did go in detail in explaining this versus the previous model. If you want to learn more about it, again, there'll be a link in the description below where I really talk about the highlight difference in detail. But this one is interesting because, well, I mean, it's a great picture of the sign itself, but everything below it is completely pitch black. It wasn't dark out, as you can see in the video. It was not dark. It was pretty bright out. And then this one really is what shocked me. I did not use a flash on this one at all, and I just used its natural metering. No exposure compensation. What the heck happened? It is completely blown out. This was within like 30 seconds of taking this one. Put them side by side, you would never know that this was taken at the same time. You would be thinking one's at night and the other one's at like, I don't know, afternoon sometime. The other issue I was running into was with the focusing. It chose the wrong lens. Maybe because I wasn't centered in the frame? That's a possibility, but even then, I'm inside about 3 or so feet away, normal picture, normal instance that you would take a Polaroid instant photo, maybe at like a party or whatnot. Why is it overexposed? Why am I completely like almost a ghost? Why is it, why? Why is the damn photo overexposed? The save drug sign, same thing. Sun was actually directly behind me. Photos when I was up in Seattle, I shot against the sky, kind of thought this might happen. Actually did a pretty good job, I'll give it that. This one's so weird because photos seem to be slightly underexposed and overexposed at the exact same time. So I think you know my answer to this. Do I recommend the Now Plus Gen 2? No. That is a no. So this camera does have app capabilities. You can go into your phone, use the app, and use manual control, light painting, portrait mode, bunch of other stuff. I'm not testing that in this video. I've done that in the original review because the average person that's gonna be going out and buying this camera, they're just looking for a camera to grab, pick up, point, shoot, and get a picture. And that's what I wanna test. Because if they're not getting good photos, guess what? They're not gonna be buying any more film. They're gonna be selling this thing and never returning. And we want people to stick around. They want people to be buying this stuff because we want Polaroid to succeed. So that's why I can't stress this enough, that Polaroid, please, do better. If you guys had seen my original conspiracy theory video, my theory was that they released a Gen 2 because they were going to sneakily fix the overexposure issue, do a firmware update of things and make it work better. That was basically the gist of that video I had done. That's not the case. I think why they did a Gen 2 is these are manufactured in, I'm assuming, China. They have new standards put in place where they are getting rid of micro USB. Everything has to be used with USB-C. Well, this has USB-C, so they were probably forced to put a Gen 2 out because if they want to have more cameras on the market, so they had to update it to make new ones. That's probably what happened, but kept all of the same internals. We got a new color. I gotta admit though, the color, it's pretty cool. I do really like this color, but unfortunately, this thing still sucks. Don't recommend it. Don't buy it. If you bought one already, I apologize. Take it back. Let Polaroid know. Complain to them about this. I mean, I'll never be sponsored by them, so I have no problem telling people to go tell them to shove it when it comes to this camera. That'd be a little too harsh. Polaroid, I still do love you. I love your products, just not this thing. This thing is just absolutely terrible. But Polaroid is my go-to instant photography medium. I love it. I love their stuff. Honestly, probably my favorite camera I own is the Onestep 2 camera, the Stranger Things one. Coincidentally, the pictures I get from that thing are phenomenal. I love Polaroid. Amazing. This sucks. Polaroid, do better. Thank you guys so much for watching. Did you guys pick one of these up? Let me know in the comments below. I'll catch you in the next video. Now, get out there. Make some art. Don't buy this thing. I should put that on a t-shirt. Polaroid, do better. Yeah.